You know, I was kind of watching another video about a woman that lied to this man for 11 years about his son being his son. And, I had to tell my old lady, because I'm teaching my son, to get a paternity test. I don't care how much you trust him. Um, I mean, because from a biological aspects, women have a godly, divine paternity test to let them know that the child was theirs because, well, they shit the baby out. All right, so it comes out of you. I mean, it grows inside of you, so you know it's yours. Men don't have that, and women feel a certain way when a man asks for paternity tests, and it's not so much as a personal attack towards you. It's just that we want something guaranteed, and unfortunately for men, we had to create our own ability to find out if the child is ours. But I had this weird scenario that I had pop in my head. It's like what women. This one actually goes a little bit more to women because, like, what would you do? How would you feel? All right, that you get pregnant by this man and you go to leave the hospital. 10 years, 16 years, 20 years. You come to find out that that baby's not yours, that the hospital switched your kid. So for the next 10, 20 years, you've been raising another couple's child while they've been raising yours. All right. I think women would be a little bit butthurt and hurt and confused, lost, because they've been raising somebody else's kids and now they have to go find their kid. Um, so like that's where I put the scenario with, like, for guys. It's like because these women know. That's the fucked up part is that not all of them, but majority of them, I think, have come to see that they knew that this man wasn't the father. But unfortunately, the man that they were hoping and they wanted to be the father, one, wasn't a good man, wasn't a good, had no credentials of showing that he was a reliable source of income and a reliable source of man. But that's who they wanted. They wanted the Pookie Ray Ray and Chad and Tyrone and all that. But he didn't want them. So she settles with the guy that will put up with everything, the nice guy. Women need to be held accountable, and this mandatory paternity test, I think, is long due. Because I've already had a talk with my girl, and I mean, I don't particularly. It's nothing a personal attack, like I think you're, infidelity and cheating and lying to me. I think women always look at the paternity test as a personal attack, like you're just automatically being accused. And then you have a lot of these videos that when it does get shown that they're lying, they can't own it. And I have mixed feelings about, because I mean I'm very touched with my feminine side, I guess. I'm very soft, and I mean yeah, I mean I'd be hurt raising this boy or girl for 10 years, find out that the kid's not mine. I feel sorry with the kid because of this female's actions, you know, kid now lost everything. Fuck the bitch, and I feel sorry for the man, but I am just broken hearted for the child because the child didn't do anything. What did the child do to deserve this? Deserve thinking this good man, this good role model was my father, only to find out that he's not. And women can't take accountability that, hey, I was a whore. I slept with another man while I was with your father. And he's actually your sperm donor. He's actually your DNA. And it's always women getting pregnant by either good guys that get wrecked or bad guys that want nothing to do with them. You wreck the good guys that get you pregnant, and you fucking bend over backwards for the guys that beat you. I just think it's about time. And I think women that actually have a problem with paternity tests have a problem with accountability. If you seriously have a problem, Because most of the guys, I mean, how do you bring up, hey, I want a paternity test of my kid without, I mean, I get it, you're gonna feel a certain way, but then you like spend what, half an hour, fucking maybe longer, maybe less, trying to justify your non-personal attack of asking for a paternity test to have some clarity, you know, that the kid's mine. Besides your word, which unfortunately the female gender's word, it doesn't have much value in a bank. But yeah, I just want to know, like, how would, like, I mean, I think that's the best scenario that I could think of about for women to actually understand what guys go through. I mean, what would you do if you raised a kid for 10, 20 years, only to find out the kid's not yours? Or the hospital made a mistake, gave your kid to somebody else and your kid to them, or their kid to you and your kid to them, and then you gotta find them. And just like hospitals, I mean, unless you can sue them and prove that they're neglect, I mean, they're not gonna help you look for your kid. Same thing with women. I mean, you catch it with DNA, with proof and all that, and somehow that's a lie. Somehow you're able to alter that. And I hope the laws change and men and women can have a sit down. And I mean, because I understand like relationships end. That's fine. Me and your mom don't get along. All right, but be civil for the kid. The kid didn't do anything, and unfortunately, that woman or man that you hate now, at one time was your world, was everything, and you loved very much and would do anything for. And just because you don't get your way or they hurt your feelings, you now want to be spiteful. And it goes along with the same thing with fucking, moms that want to keep their kids away from the father. The kid is not just yours. I think that's definitely one thing that needs to change in the courthouse. I mean, I mean, it's not 1950s, so I can understand, like, if you're not together, then he can't really control everything that happens in your household when you have your kid. Just like when he has, the kid, you don't get a call shots. I think the father should have I think the fathers need to have primary custody. I think because I think fathers are better parents. I mean, I'm not saying there's not some good mothers out there, but not enough to give you 50-50 custody. And the chorus, it's all about numbers. Come on now. But I don't know. It's just a little bit of rambling I had because I'm just getting tired of these kids. I mean, it's either women are killing their kids because it's my body, my choice. They're using kids as pawns between men, or they just give them away. I mean, like, if I don't pay my child support, then I have a chance to go and to get locked up and arrested. But women are allowed to kill their kids because I don't want to be with them, or I do want to be with them, or they want to hurt me. They're also allowed to throw their kids away in these metal containers at fire departments. I mean, I understand, like, back in the day, we used to do that, at the churches, but I would hope we would evolve from those times to where I mean, why aren't women allowed to just piss and moan and complain and get things handed to them? But men that build a city and do this and do that just get shit talked about them. I mean, women have, between birth control, Plan B, this thing that you can implant in your arm, this thing you can implant inside of you. You can get your tubes tied, which is, if I remember correctly, getting a female's tubes tied is a lot easier to do and undo. I think it's a little bit more expensive, but it's a lot easier to do than having a guy neuter himself. um, you control who you allow to stick their willy in with a condom or without. You allow, they also have this foam stuff that a woman can shoot up in her. I mean, so women have all these Thanks. And I think honestly, men, we can't take birth control. I think because the birth control that you would have to do. I mean, look at the birth control. It already fucks with women and their emotions and all that, and it makes a lot of women. And it makes a good chunk of women sterile. If you're on birth control for too long, you become sterile. I mean, you guys already have a fine time, biological clock. Um, Men, I mean, I don't know. There's just so much especially on this topic, to just talk about. And I mean, we need like. Unfortunately, I think this world needs to collapse in order to fix it. We're just too all over the place, and everybody's attacking everybody. Men and women are attacking men and women. Men are attacking men. Women are attacking women. Women are trying to be men. Oh, men are trying to be men. Women. Blacks against whites. Religions attacking each other. Relationships are. What the fuck is a relationship, especially in this time period? What is the symbol of getting married, the symbol of finding somebody to share your life with? It's the same thing I was having a talk with a friend of mine about, you know, wanting a new start and wanting to find a girl. And I think for all the young men out there, I mean, when you're looking for somebody, a girlfriend, I mean, a one night stand, a night stalker, that's whatever. I'm going to teach my son that getting a body count really isn't, all it's correct. But now, if women want you, that's something to brag about. That women want to be with you. Whether you can be with them or not, that's a fine line to actually do it or not do it. But when you actually carry yourself in a way that makes women want you, that's more attractive. Um, but I was having a talk with my friend of mine, and then when I mentioned about girlfriend, it's like you gotta think about what kind of girl you want. You want somebody to be with, okay? Now, do you want somebody to be with right now? Do you want somebody to be with when you grow, that you could be growing old with? Do you want to build a family? How big do you want your family? What kind of lifestyle do you want? Where's your values lie? What are your morals? How do you see life? What kind of parent are you gonna be? Is this woman gonna be a decent woman that I can raise kids with? Am I gonna have to fight with her all the time? Can we have a civilized conversation about opinions? With a little bit of compassion, yes, and emotions, and I can watch my tone and not scream. But women are gonna have to come in with this very direct and assertive understanding, a very articulate way of knowing how the world works. And men are men, and you have to raise boys differently than girls. Um, I do believe in traditional roles, but it doesn't mean women can't go hunting or can't light guns. I just believe that guns and violence and protecting and serving and providing and is the man role. Women, you guys are supposed to just take care of what's in the house. All right, have your girlfriends over, hang out, keep the house clean, take care of the kids, play with them, give them baths, feed them, read them, good night stories, um, kiss their boobies. I mean, make your man food, make sure he's taken care of as he is you. That's your guys' role. And it's not misogynist to say that's where you guys belong. And it worked out better that way. I mean, and men were the ones that were supposed to go out in the world and fight and work hard and grind and miss, you know, um, things that have to do with the family, like ball games and trips and sometimes family outings. But every now and then, mom would, write a note pretending to be dad, put it in your lunchbox, record your ball game without you knowing, so dad can watch it later. And he can just act like superhero dad. Hey, I knew you. Hey, that was a good free throw. He's like, what? You weren't there. Yeah, I was. Dads have the superpower to just know, the mom just makes the dad look good. She wasn't worried about getting credit. She wasn't worried about being super mom. But dad did his little things of buy her flowers and making sure he understood and respected her and loved her for what she did for him. You know, they were a good superpower team. They were there for each other. I mean, yeah, they had ups and downs. And they had problems. But you talk about it like adults. You don't scream. You don't fight. You don't hit. You don't do it in front of your kids. And I know we all have to work on that. Not me included. You know, you let emotions and the moment get to you. But uh, a nuclear family, the power couple. I mean, what happened to those fucking phrases? The power couple, you know, or how couples used to be admired back in the day. Like, I want what she has. You know, hey Bob, you look happy. You know, that's another thing. The peace, the women that be the peace. It was like that. You know, like women were supposed to have that beautiful energy about them, like the sirens that brought sailors to the sea, the crash. But instead of negative, it was like this. When you walked into the house, it was just like you wanted to be home. That's what the woman did. She made like you wanted to be home. You're at peace. You're able to relax. You know, she made you want to be home, and made it a peaceful home to come to. While you were out there fighting and dealing with the dragons to bring home food. And women didn't want all this material objects crap. I mean, yeah, they wanted shiny things. I mean, women always did. But now they're greedy. They're entitled. They're self-centered. Then you have all these boss women that fucking they want you to fucking fork a tab out of $700 for their friend's birthday party and pay for everybody's table. But it's like, why? I thought you were independent. I thought you were like you didn't need no man. Like that's why this whole equality feminist fucking crap doesn't work. Like Myron from Fresh Prince says, smart retard. You can't have a dominant, submissive man. Like, it doesn't work that way. And you can see it in women. It's burning women's brains out trying to be a dominant and woman and forgetting their role, and they want to blame us. Like, well, I can need to find a man that can handle me, or he needs to see treats me good to where I just want to fall into my femininity. No, um, women need to start acting like ladies. Well, you need to act like a woman. You don't get to be treated like a lady because I treat you like a lady. Then you'll act like a lady. No, you act like a lady, so then I treat you like a lady. And chivalry is fucking dead. And I'm sorry, but women killed it. You got half the women out there fucking like, I can open my own door. And the other one's like, why are you opening my door? It's like, because you're entitled and ungrateful and think you're better than me. And why would I open your door with how you treat men on a daily basis? Like, it's a double-edged sword. I mean, why? And I don't believe that men should just go around and grab women. All right. Let's get that one straight up there. I don't believe men should just grab women. All right. But you can't really expect. I mean, because like you wearing short shorts or a short skirt that shows like the bottom part of your ass cheeks. Your tits are hanging out. Your makeup's hanging out. You act like a fucking sloppy fucking whore. But I'm not allowed to look at you as a piece of meat. I'm a firm believer. I do believe that men cannot sexualize women without women sexualizing themselves first. I know there's something else I had to say, but I spaced it. um, but yeah, I just this whole gender fucking shit. Not just the pronouns and all that, but just straight up biologically fucking like men and women. And the dynamic on how we work individually and together. Uh, Men are better off alone than women, but we're better together. And that's one thing. I mean, like, I don't really hear much. Like, guys, we don't need you ladies to survive. All right, but we're not on the rooftop screaming, "We are independent from you." No, I mean, we're trying to have a talk with you about how we're tired of your guys' shit, but we can't have an opinion without it turning into an argument, or you guys taking it a certain way, or you guys want this tit for tat fucking. It's not fair. Life's not fair. um, or it's like fucking like, you know, like wanting you to change and thinking, you know, we want you to change who you are, and it's like you have to change throughout life to adapt, to evolve and grow. You have to change from who you were yesterday to who you are now. So you have to change. I don't know. I'm just drawing blanks here and there. That's it for now.